Hello, my name is Nupur Mehta and today the topic given to me is plantar fasciitis. So first of all, we will see what is the plantar fascia. Here we begin. Plantar fascia is the thick connective tissue which supports the arch at the bottom of the feet, and it runs from the tuberosity of the calcaneus forward to the heads of the metatarsal bones, and it has a very important function during the dynamic function of the gait. So plantar fasciitis is the painful condition of the feet caused by inflammation of the insertion of the plantar fascia on the medial process of the calcaneal tuberosity, and this will lead to pain, swelling and warmth of the affected area. Risk factors include obesity, flat feet, long distance running, tight tender Achilles, shoes with poor arch support, especially in the people who have flat feet. They need arch proper in the foot, in the shoes, and prolonged standing, lack of stretching prior to exercises, a lack of proper warm-up prior to the game. The other reason because of which the athlete or the person suffers from plantar fasciitis is tight gastrosoleus muscles. So here is a little bit explanation of the pathomechanics about how the calf muscles will lead to plantar fasciitis. So during the last phase of the gait cycle, in the stance phase, that is from the mid stance to the heel off, there is dorsiflexion which is required. Approximately 5 degrees of dorsiflexion is required to translate the tibia anteriorly during this phase of the gait, that is from mid stance to the heel off, and the above mechanism happens to clear the ground, and this mechanism is necessary to clear the ground. In case if there is tightness in the calf muscles, then there is limited dorsiflexion, and because of limited dorsiflexion there is no anterior glide of the tibia, that is tibia cannot glide anteriorly because of tight gastrocnemius muscles, and so this is compensated by the subtalar joint, and there is overpronation in the subtalar joint in compensation to the above mechanism, and this leads to more stress on the plantar fascia, and so in the patients who have tight calf muscles, they tend to get plantar fasciitis. The second cause which is explained is the absence of the windlass mechanism. So what is the windlass mechanism? That is when the first MTP joint goes in dorsiflexion during the propulsive phase of the gait cycle. At that particular time the plantar fascia becomes rigid, and the arch which is on the medial side of the feet, that is a little bit exaggerated during first MTP joint dorsiflexion in the propulsive phase of the gait cycle, and if this mechanism is lost, then the plantar fascia will suffer from more stress, and that is why plantar fasciitis will happen. So the dorsiflexion at the MTP joint will wind the plantar fascia around the head of the metatarsal, causing the calcaneal bone eversion and subtalar joint supination, and absence of this mechanism will affect the subtalar joint supination, which will lead to plantar fasciitis. So the windlass mechanism is very important in the feet of the person, and it helps during the gait cycle, and if this windlass which I just explained is lost in the person, then that person will have more chances to get plantar fasciitis. The next cause is the weakness of the posterior tibialis. What is the function of the tibialis posterior? It eccentrically controls the pronation of the feet, and if this muscle goes in weakness, then there is excessive pronation at the foot, and that is why the subtalar joint will be under stress because of overpronation, and it might lead to plantar fasciitis. So the main clinical features which the patient will be having will be pain, obviously at the heel bone, that is the calcaneal pain. There will be morning stiffness, that is when the patient gets up first time in the morning and he keep the feet on the ground. At that time the affected feet will have tremendous pain, that is known as morning stiffness, and that will be relieved after he takes few steps. The other features will be problem in prolonged weight bearing or problem while running. So all those risk factors needs to be corrected, especially the modifiable risk factors needs to be corrected in order to treat plantar fasciitis. So conservative treatment include ultrasound, phonophoresis, contrast bath or ice pack, and manual therapy. Manual therapy includes talocrural joint posterior glide, subtalar joint lateral glide, anterior and posterior glide at the first MTP joint, and subtalar joint distraction. The patient can be advised calf stretching. He can be taught self calf stretching so that he can do it at least 2 to 3 times at his place. And plantar fascia stretch can also be taught to the patient, which he has to do regularly at home. This is the calf stretch, self calf stretch, which the patient is doing. And this is the plantar fascia stretch as shown in the picture. All the toes are taken in the dorsiflexion along with the dorsiflexion of the ankle. This is taping. Taping will give a temporary relief. If there is tremendous pain, then the taping can help a bit for few hours, but it is only for symptomatic relief. If the foot is going for overpronation, then the orthotic devices are shown in the picture, and you can see the heel cuffs which can be placed within the shoes. This is the trigger point release at the calf muscle. So what is the purpose of the trigger point release, which is shown in the picture? The therapist is releasing the trigger point, and why it is important to release the calf muscle trigger points when the problem is in the heel bone. The reason is that the patient might be suffering from the referred pain in the heel, and that referred pain in the heel is coming from these trigger points from the calf muscles, and so it is important to do the trigger point release at the calf muscles if there is any. So the main treatment part will be ice packs, release of the trigger point on the calf muscles, calf stretching, plantar fasciitis stretching, taping by the therapist, and reduction in the number of the time of reduction of the weight bearing duration, especially in the housewives who has to stand for a long period of time. They can do some calf stretching in between every hour, or they can do the toe raises exercises, and they can wear proper shoes which consist of the heel cuffs as shown. So this all will help in curing the plantar fasciitis. Thank you.